Sailor recently came to me about, I guess she's learning about the Kardashians, just who they are.
Okay.
And she was like, well, Kim, she has she's like, she has a really big like butt
I
and
was gonna say,
stuff.
what does
And
she
like
know about Kim?
people like her. And I was like, well, Sailor, she is gonna be a lawyer. Like I immediately got defensive and I was
Nice.
like,
Yeah.
she is so much more than that.
More than her looks.
She
Yeah.
has she's a amazing businesswoman. Like I got really defensive over
Love
Kim
Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian. What's up, guys? We're dreamers, we're moms, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Now let's get creatively unhinged. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Mommy Artist Podcast. Today's episode is about the kind of creativity that lives in the body, the kind you feel before you ever find the words for it. My guest today is someone whose art shows up through movement, through breath, through learning how to listen instead of push. Born and raised in Cyprus, her and her husband have built a beautiful life and have 3 amazing children together. And y'all, I'm lucky enough to call her my neighbor. But the real creation happened later, when running fell away during pregnancy and yoga quietly stepped in. But not only as a new exercise, but a new language. One that asked her to slow down, turn inward, and sit with herself in ways she never had before. Yoga became her medium. The mat became a canvas. Each practice a chance to explore sensation, emotion, and presence, learning that mindfulness isn't about emptying your mind, but about being brave enough to stay with it. This episode is about anxiety as a catalyst, curiosity as a compass, and what happens when you say yes to something just for you, only to realize you're meant to share it. From backyard classes to breath work with sports teams, this is a story about embodied creativity and letting your art take the shape it wants. Let's get into it.
I mean, that's amazing. Are you a
Welcome.
poet?
No, I will say ChatGPT
That
helps,
God, that
but
just sounded beautiful.
oh,
And I'm
thank
like,
you.
do I do that?
Yes, that's all you.
I guess I do some of that.
No, all of that. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful you're on the show
Thanks.
and just thanks for being here. And
Yeah.
it took like a little minute, didn't it?
Yeah.
For you
So
to
I don't love a microphone, but here I am.
I know. And I'm so grateful for that. And
Well,
that
thanks.
I think that in itself, you just being able to like overcome that fear of like being in front. I mean, because the bright light, it's kind of intimidating.
I've
And
never done anything like it.
yeah. And so I think even for you to say yes to this is growth in
Well,
yourself. So that
you're
there you
super
go.
sweet. I mean, this makes me laugh because I was on a mission trip one time and we were in a prayer circle and it got to me and I literally said, ditto. Because I was like, I cannot talk in front of people.
I know.
So the whole yoga journey has been funny. And I was just like, it's only for me. I'm not going to teach. I could never.
Mhm.
And then you don't really get a choice when you're passionate about it. And you're like, okay, I just have to share it.
I know. I
And so you do.
kind of the same thing happened with the podcast. Like I started it for
Yeah.
me for something I was doing, and then it turned into like, okay, I need to share this for these other mommy artists, for this community,
100%.
just to, you feel a calling, right? And so it like starts for you, and then you're like, oh, this is bigger than me.
Right.
And it's so cool to watch that happen.
I totally agree. It's really cool. It's just
Yes.
funny when you're like, I can't believe I'm in this position,
I
you
know.
know? But
So I asked Chelsea to be my guest. She was just reminding me in November.
I looked today and I think it was like November 8th. And I told her, oh my gosh, I'm so honored. Let me get the nerves and circle back at the
I
beginning of the year.
know. Which is so
Months
honest
later,
though.
well, I mean, I wanted to do it. Like I said, like when
Yes.
you're passionate about something, you want to share it with people. You just have to get over, you know, nerves and whatever.
Okay. So just a little bit about our families and how
Yeah.
we go way back. I thought that'd be fun to talk about. So your mother-in-law was my elementary school art teacher.
Yes.
And that is so
She's the best
crazy.
too. That is
She is the
crazy.
best. Everyone loved her. I remember loving her then. And then her daughter Stacy and I were best friends for
And I
years.
didn't know that until we moved in, and then
Mhm.
Kyle found out, well, he still gets confused because 'cause you're not Megan Hammonds,
Right.
but I'm like, "No, that
I
is
may go
Meg
back.
no, that's Megan Hammonds, that's Meg it's happening today." But, yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I grew up with her. It's
Yeah,
such a
it's
small
so
world."
funny, and her dad, his dad was my, basketball coach.
I believe that, Robert
Yeah,
Ellisor.
yeah,
That's
and
so
they're such a
funny.
sporty family, and I talk about that later too, um, because you're also very sporty.
I try. Do you like my Team
Yeah, it's very
USA?
have you
Like,
watched any yet?
last night we were watching I couldn't figure out if it was figure skating or ice dancing. I think
There's different?
it yeah. Yeah.
No.
I think it was ice dancing. They don't do, like, loops and jumps, but they do things called twizzles.
Literally, I didn't that's a
I learned it from a book I read.
learn something new every
You're
day. Thank
welcome.
you for that. Okay, so I will watch out for both of those. I
I
haven't watched yet, but I do wanna start watching,
yeah.
because I love the Winter Olympics, and especially this guy they keep talking about that is supposed to be, like, the
Oh,
coolest
the one that
new
does the
skater.
backflip?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's very cool. My kids are obsessed with him.
yeah,
Yeah. I haven't watched much of it, but
I want to.
me too.
Okay. So yes, we go way back and now we're neighbors and you have been the sweetest and most kindest person to me.
Oh.
And I truly mean that. And I know we don't know each other like that well, but we've hung out a few times like
Mhm.
outside of it. And I was gonna mention that, I've been going through some things and she was like, "Hey, I dropped a book off on your doorstep." And I was like, "No way."
I like to be a fairy like that
No,
and
oh my
just
gosh,
drop
where
stuff,
is it?
but I actually didn't know what you were going through at all. I just,
You were called to give it
it
to you
just
knew in the back of your
felt like you
mind.
would enjoy this vibe.
Yes, this
So,
is my vibe.
yeah, and
Yes.
you would come to yoga, and I was like, "Wow,
Yes.
Megan, like, this is fun."
Yes, it's called Rise Sister Rise. I haven't read too
You're like,
much of
"What
it
is it?"
yet, but no, I did read, like, the first couple chapters, and I was immediately drawn to it. It's about, like, femininity
Yeah,
and, just women empowerment and, being intentional with, your words and your thoughts and and try to get out of that, like, patriarchy,
yes,
like, mindset,
yes.
and, I don't know, it's really cool, so
I
thank you
love
so
it.
much for
You're
that. I really
welcome.
appreciate that.
It goes hand in hand with, I think, a lot of what people teach in yoga classes
Mhm,
as far as, like, your potential and, like,
mhm,
what you have in you, it's already there,
mhm.
and then you're just pulling it out.
Right.
And I loved, like, when I skimmed the book, I actually bought it for my best friend, I told you, because I skimmed it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna love this." But then I was reading it and you had come to yoga and I was like, "I'm ordering another copy. Megan
Yes,
gets
thank
this." It's
you.
such a good book.
Yeah, and at the beginning, it talks about, something about her being called a good girl and it kind of being like a negative
Mhm.
connotation, and it's like, I was thinking about that too, and then it, like, prompted and then I started writing a poem about it, but it's like, it's it's almost like it's okay for someone to call me a good girl, but, like, that's not the only like, unless
Right.
you've called me many other
I'm a lot of things.
brave things first,
Right.
yes, and I'm a good girl in the fact that, like, that's, like, a sweet saying, but, like, I mean, I'm not a bad girl, but,
No,
like,
but there's
you
more
know
to
what I
you than
mean.
just good. My mom
Yes.
is very intentional with her words and with all of her granddaughters, and before she says you're pretty, she
Mhm.
says how smart you are.
Oh,
So
that's
she always,
perfect.
like, says something about, like, "Oh, I saw you reading," or "You're so intelligent," or "Da, da, 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 and you look so pretty today." But, like, she
I love
starts
that.
it with that, and I think it's so important for girls to hear that.
I do too.
Mhm.
Sailor recently came to me about I guess she's learning about the Kardashians, just who they are.
Okay.
And, she was like, "Well, Kim, she has" she's like, "She has a really big, like, butt
I
and
was gonna say,
stuff,
what does
and,
she
like,
know about Kim?
people like her." And I was like, "Well, Sailor, she is gonna be a lawyer." Like, I immediately got defensive, and I was
Nice.
like,
Yeah.
"She is so much more than that."
More than her looks.
She
Yeah.
has she's a amazing businesswoman, like, I got really defensive over
Love
Kim
Kim
Kardashian.
Kardashian.
But, yes, just to teach our daughters that is so important.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
I do
love that your
too.
mom does that.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, a little bit about friend zoning your hubby. Insert picture here.
Oh, yeah, are you gonna do you
Oh,
have the
yeah,
picture?
for sure.
Oh gosh, we had the same haircut and color. Sun in? Like, did you do sun in ever? It
No?
turns your hair orange, so don't ever
Oh,
touch
sun
it.
in, yes,
Sun
sorry, I
in,
didn't do
the
yes, I
spray,
did
and then
I
you, like,
did
go
do
lay
sun in,
outside.
mhm.
Well, we both had done it before homecoming in 1998.
So but y'all were just friends
We were
then?
friends, and he said when he asked me, he liked me, but yeah, we were in the same friend group,
Mhm.
so I said yes, and I was like, "Oh, my friend Kyle asked me,
Perfect.
like, cool,
Yeah.
I have a date." And then he realized, like, quickly that I just thought we were friends, so he started dating someone right after homecoming, and they dated through high school and college,
No
like,
way.
serious dating yeah,
And then you were the
I
next?
really missed out. I mean, we were both pretty much single through our after college, through
Mhm,
our 20s, and then I had done some marathons and I signed up for my first triathlon,
mhm.
which if you're not a swimmer, even a short distance open water swim is super intimidating. Like,
Okay,
I
the
can't
word marathon is intimidating to me, so
that was a different lifetime, like, that doesn't even
no,
feel
you
like
could do
me.
it today. I know you could.
Thank you for that encouragement. But I saw on Facebook that he had done an Ironman,
Mhm.
and we
That's
were
cool.
still friends. Like, I truly he teases me, but I didn't look at his, like, relationship status. I just was like, Kyle was so nice,
Mhm.
so encouraging as a friend. So I reached out to him, and rereading our emails, it's so
I
embarrassing. Like, the way I talked when I was 29, like, oh, gag me. But I just asked him, like, "Do you have any tips for swimming? Because it's a short swim, but, like, I feel like I'm drowning,
Mhm.
and, it's the first part of a triathlon." And so then we started. I was in Dallas, and he was in Houston, and I had just bought my first house. Like, I
Aw,
was a working girl,
yes.
and, my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it." And I was like, "Mom." And, I sold my house, like, 6 months
Oh
later
my
and moved here and was like, "Oh."
gosh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
So
love
and
it.
he would tell people, "Well, we dated on and off for 13 years." And I was like, "We did not." Please don't say that. We dated, like, a year and got engaged, and then we got married in 8 months and then got pregnant with Augie the next month.
That happened similar I have a similar story. It was
Yeah.
all very fast,
Yes.
fast, 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 and you lose yourself completely in that time.
Yeah, I mean, we will talk about that with
Yes,
anxiety.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
'cause it was all, like I mean, I loved it. It was just all
of
so
course.
fast.
Mhm. Okay,
Mhm.
what were you like in high school? Okay, well, let's start, like, what activities were you in? And then follow it up with, were any of them, like, creative?
Oh, yeah, so I played soccer. I played soccer all growing up, which is no
Mhm.
surprise why my kids are all in the it's like what we do every
I mean,
weekend.
so did Stacey and Kyle, right?
Yes. Yeah, sports families on both sides,
That's the
so the
mhm.
kids have 0 opportunity to chill because 'cause they're always playing sports.
Whatever, they do yoga.
They they do, and they love it. That's
Yes.
very true. They love doing yoga, so that's why we do it because we
Yeah,
go busy all the time.
yeah.
But I did soccer, but I also was in choir,
Okay, great.
and even as an adult, like, at my church in Dallas, I was in the choir there.
Aw.
So I think that was and I played the piano growing up.
Oh, yeah,
So there was,
so
like, a
you have
creative
it.
side. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
And you do quilting
Oh, yeah,
now.
Susie taught me that when
Really?
I was on maternity leave with Georgia because I
Okay.
worked, for a private investment firm, and I had 3 months off, and Susie came over one day with a, um, sewing machine and fabric and was like, let me teach you to quilt." And I kinda was like, "I'm so tired."
I
Like,
know that, like,
like, I was
that's
like,
like a lot of
"I don't
work.
know." And I strapped Georgia in, like, her little baby
Uh-huh,
Bjorn, and
uh-huh.
we made a quilt together,
Oh, that's
and
so
she taught me to quilt, and I
cool.
have made a ton of quilts since
And it's
then.
pretty difficult, right? It's like a process.
It's a
It's
process.
a
It gets monotonous, which is
mhm,
I enjoy that part, like, where you can just chain stitch and it's just one
mhm.
after another, but it's a lot of work. It's more ironing than you would ever believe.
Really?
It's just as much ironing as sewing because you have to flatten all your seams. Yeah, it's wild.
Wow. But still, and very
Yeah,
creative. So, to sum it up, you were creative growing up,
I guess
and you're
so.
still creative now.
Yeah, when you asked me to do this, I think I also responded like, "I'm not creative, like,
I
I just
know.
teach yoga," and you were like, "No, there's an art to that."
No,
I was
you're
like,
not the
"Oh."
first one.
And it's nice to have people remind you of, like, different traits that you have, like, you
Mhm,
told me I am a creative, and I was
mhm.
like, "Am I?" But then you brought it up and then I believed it because 'cause you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I just needed someone else to, like, bring that out in me."
Well, and then you go through and you're like, "Oh, I was in choir in high school." And like,
Right.
"Oh,
Oh, I
I
guess I
did
always
do
have been
quilting." And I
creative.
have yeah,
You're
exactly.
right.
So,
Yeah.
that's fun. I love that. So, now we're gonna talk about yoga. We talked about you having a very athletic family. So when you got pregnant initially, did you have the idea like, how did yoga come into the picture?
Um, let's see. So, because I was a runner first, like, I
Mhm.
never did yoga. And then I think I had all 3 babies. So I had 3 kids in 3 years.
Wow.
Well, and we were planning it, like, that's how crazy we were. We were like, "Hey,
Let's get it all over with at
we got a
once.
9-month-old." Yeah, but it was, I mean, kinda nice. Like,
Yeah,
everybody was in
now.
diapers and napping and yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but we lived in Coles Crossing, and they built that Villa
Okay, yeah.
Athletic Club,
Yep.
right when we were living there, right after I had Vera, and they had a 2-hour childcare program.
Yes.
Oh, so
Yes.
I would go and do a class, and then I would have, like, another hour to, like, do the spa or
Mhm.
whatever I
Mhm.
wanted, really. Sometimes I took a book. But that's where I started taking yoga classes,
Mhm.
and I got the coolest group of girls. They had, like, a Christian yoga group called Bide,
Mhm.
and they asked me to be an ambassador, which I was kinda like, "Okay." It
Cool.
was so fun, and this was right before COVID, so we would meet and kinda have Bible study
Mhm.
and do yoga together and, like, bring yoga to other people, and it was awesome, but it was short-lived for me when I joined because then COVID happened and we couldn't really meet up
Yes.
that much.
Right.
But that's when it started and then during COVID, the kids were 2, 4, and 5, 2, 3, and 5,
Mhm.
and, so we would do cosmic have you heard of Cosmic Kids Yoga?
No.
It's this amazing lady, I wish I remembered her name.
Is it YouTube?
YouTube,
Mhm.
but it Cosmic Kids, and, she does stories, and, like, a lot of them are based on, like, shows, Disney
Mhm.
shows, and
Mhm.
she, like, talks you through it, but she does poses as she's telling a story.
That's
So, like, we're in a
so
boat, and
interesting.
so she'd be in boat pose,
Mhm.
talking about being on a boat, and you would move through the whole story with her, and so that was our COVID, is,
I
like,
love that.
Cosmic Kids Yoga, and we would do, like, balance challenges, like, just I don't know, and that's really when yoga took off for me,
Mhm.
um, because I needed that mental
Yeah.
mindfulness time, and it was fun
Yes.
to introduce to the kids at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. So I think in your bio you talked a little bit about being surprised by the difficulty of it, and maybe it was more so the mental
Yeah.
difficulty as opposed to the physical. Like, was it ha tell me about, like, slowing down and how I mean,
Yes.
because running I'm sure running is a mental thing too because you're running, but you're also in your head the whole time, but maybe you're listening to music or maybe you're
Right.
running
Or
to
even going through, like, what I'm gonna do later today,
Right.
like, you are in your head,
Mhm.
but it's not necessarily like,
Like an
mindfulness
intentional
practice.
Mhm.
And when you really start practicing slowing down in our busy world
Mhm.
with all of our social media and our phones are dinging all the time, like, I can't let my phone ding and not check it right
Mhm.
away. And I've
Mhm.
tried to be like, "Don't answer that. Don't even look at that text." Like, but
Right.
I can't. Like, I'm
Right.
like, it's all right there.
Right.
And so then making yourself slow down, it was really hard for me. And
Mhm.
I would try and lay there and then be like,
Right.
it's a really hard practice.
I know, and that's why they call it a practice, I think, also because you do have to like, it's not the first it's like someone who's gonna pick up yoga for the first time. It's not like you're gonna get it. I don't
Yeah,
think,
I think it's
Ye
ever evolving.
yes, it's
Mhm.
ever evolving, and it's leaning into it, and it's, kind of allowing it to take a same with, like, meditation, it's kind of like they go hand in hand, right?
Yes,
Like, you
totally.
have to, like, really just be in the, I don't know, mindset for it, and if you're not, it won't work. It's like one of those things, like,
Yeah.
you have to put the work in to
Right.
get out of it.
Like, showing up on the mat is always gonna be beneficial. There will always be
Yes.
something you get out of it, but you always have room for growth,
Mhm.
and that, like, the last pose that you do in most classes is Shavasana, corpse
Mhm.
pose,
Mhm.
and I was just recently reading an article talking about how hard it is, and you're literally laying there. I mean, it doesn't seem hard because 'cause
Mhm.
you're relaxing all your muscles, but the hard part is laying there and then being mindful and not letting your brain do your grocery list
Mhm.
and all the appointments you have later that day, but it's staying, like, tucked inward, and it's really a challenge to just sit there
Yes.
and be like, and it's not that you're trying to avoid you're not, like, in this blank zone, like,
Mhm.
trying to be like, "Oh," but it's focusing on you for those 5
Mhm.
minutes
Mhm.
of, like, "Nope, I'm inward," and it's so hard.
I know, it's hard for I like it when they do, because 'cause I'll do them on YouTube sometimes, and it's like when you start with an intention, and I'm better with just one-word intentions.
Mhm.
So, I'll start the practice with, like recently, it was the word strong, and so when I have those moments of silence, a lot of times I just find myself repeating the word in my head, or just thinking of things that, like, make me
That's
stronger, or,
perfect.
like
That is
and
perfect.
that's what I like to
Yeah.
do during those times.
At the beginning of my teaching journey, I was trying to give affirmations or intentions to people, and I would always say in class, like, "You can use what I wrote."
Mhm.
Maybe it was, like, purposeful that you were at this mat and saw
Mhm.
this intention,
Right.
or maybe you have something else on your mind. I really like that. At Villa, I had an instructor that always did that, and I just loved it.
I took her class
You
too.
did? Yeah.
Yes.
I just loved, like, reading it and being like, this resonates today, you know,
It's like,
and
thank you.
yes. But one class I was trying to be funny, I guess, and I did Bob Ross quotes.
We learn to work with what happens. And when you're at home, don't worry about following exactly what we have here. Let things happen and use what happens and create your own masterpieces.
Did not land like I wanted it to land because they were kinda long. The
People got to their class expecting to see, like, stay grounded and
It was a really clever quote from Bob Ross, and they were like, "Meh." So those got thrown in the trash, but it
kudos for
was
you for trying something new,
I
though.
was trying to be creative.
And your class, so I've shamefully only taken it
Oh,
one
that's
time, and
okay.
I took a free one. I need to, like, actually go.
But that was fun because kids were there. I
Yes.
always love the kid
Yes,
classes.
there's so many things about your yoga classes that are
Thanks.
special. One of which you allow kids to most of them, and two, not only like, and it's not like your kid has to sit there and do it. You're like, okay, let them be a part of it as long as they want to. And then she has set up like an art station over there and like snacks and and they're quiet
They do a
and they
good
do the
job.
yeah. And my kids lasted a few minutes. So I
They
probably
did a
they
long
did
time.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
ten
Well,
minutes
a
and
long time for that
I know,
age,
I
trying
agree.
to, like, move
I
slowly and
agree.
breathe and
Yeah, they're trying their best. They're, like, doing all the things but it was so neat, and then at the end of your classes, or the one that I went to, you're like, everyone's closing their eyes, and and you wake up to these beautiful teacups that are, like
so
look like out of Alice in
random.
Wonderland. No, they're, like, beautiful, like, probably vintage, like, real teacups, like, with tea that you've made, and it's just it makes it so much more special, and
Thanks.
those little touches are key, I think.
That's
That's why I would
awesome.
keep and why I'm going to come back.
And I'm gonna have you
That's why
Thank
and
you.
I was thinking actually I was gonna do maybe some of the, individual ones,
Yes,
like the
so that's been
one-on-ones.
really fun to do, and I didn't know that would be a need,
Mhm,
a private class,
mhm,
until a couple people reached out,
mhm,
and it was either usually it's really not people being, scared to try a group class, although I've told people, "If that makes you nervous, we can do one-on-one." I think one-on-one also could feel intimidating,
mhm.
but it's normally, like, the librarian, Miss Fowler.
Yes, she's great.
Yeah, she's great. She comes every week, but she's been training for a half marathon, and so she's like, "I wanna come to you specifically to help with, like, running stretches and
Right.
breathing," and so, she does private because she wants to be like, specific with what
Mhm,
we're doing,
mhm.
but I didn't know people would want private, and I've had multiple people do it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know what would draw I think just maybe getting to pick the exact time I could have it,
Yeah,
and then I don't know. I was just drawn to the idea of having a private, and I
that's
think
pretty cool.
it's more maybe more because 'cause I'm also drawn to the meditation part of it and woo-woo part of it more
No,
than
I
I
love the
like
woo-woo part of
yes,
it.
like, I am just like, "Okay, tell me," like,
Read me
all
a
day,
poem.
like, "Yes, read me" yes, yes, and the sound bowls, oh my gosh,
Oh
I would
my
love for you to
gosh.
just, like, play some sound bowls
My
around me.
8-year-old got asked Santa for sound bowls for Christmas,
That's special.
and she's good at
You know you're a good
oh,
mom
thank
when
I'll brag on that because I was so excited when she was like, "I'm gonna ask Santa for sound bowls." I was like, "Yes, you are.
Yes, you
Thank
are
you.
my angel.
Thank you." But she's too nervous to, play them at any of the classes yet,
Oh
but she'll
well,
get there.
she'll get there.
Mhm.
She'll get there.
Yeah.
So how do we even say this word? Chitty-gritty?
Chitty Vitry.
Explain chitty-vitty to us
Uh
non-yogis.
Right? That is the chatter you hear in your brain that we were talking about earlier and why it makes that mindfulness practice so difficult is
Mhm,
because we do have that constant chatter. And to try to turn that off or even to try to focus that into a thought,
mhm,
because it's not bad to have thoughts. Like
right,
part of yoga is connecting with how you're feeling and what's going on in your head. It's not turning everything off and having blank space, like I said earlier, but honing that in and having why am I having this thought? Maybe there's something like tapping on your heart
mhm,
just repeatedly. That can be chitty vitchery,
mhm,
but turning it into like, let's think on this
mhm,
and focusing on it.
mhm. Okay,
So,
interesting.
mm,
And I like how everything in yoga has a fancy word.
I do too.
What does it
Sanskrit
come
words
from
are so fun.
originally? Is it what language?
Sanskrit is the language. So, because there is a whole religious aspect to yoga
Mhm,
that that's like a whole nother part that why some people don't practice yoga. Some Christians think
mhm.
yoga is like bad.
And I was gonna talk about that because
Mhm.
you blend it nicely, and I know you have classes kind of geared toward more religious classes versus more some that you don't talk about it at all.
Right.
And I think that's cool. I think yoga is universal and could help everybody. So
I do too. That's
continue to
my
do that.
thanks. I think some people really like it as more like yesterday, I did it at a mom's group at a
Mhm,
church,
mhm,
and they prayed before I got there, and then I had a Bible verse that I had kinda planned the class
mhm.
around, and I think that was important for
Yes,
those moms and what they needed in that moment,
yes.
but a lot of people, that's not what they're coming for. They're
Mhm,
coming, for that movement and mindfulness and feeling good, and it's not a religious thing,
mhm.
and I don't know the religions of all my students,
Right.
so, like, I don't want anyone feeling uncomfortable if that's not
Mhm,
where they are, so if it is, like, a faith class, I make sure that I say that in the
mhm,
title,
mhm,
so they know, like, okay, I might say a prayer at the end,
mhm.
but most of them, aren't.
Yes.
So,
No, I
but
love
it
how
is
you it's
universal.
open to everybody, and I can
Mhm.
feel that through
Good.
your classes.
That's good. I
And
don't
yeah,
wanna exclude anybody.
no,
Yeah.
you're doing a great job at that.
Thanks.
All right, now we're gonna talk about
Yes. I mean,
anxiety.
oh, God, anxiety. I'm not so excited to talk about that. I got
I
excited.
know, I know. Okay, so I suffer from anxiety. I think
It's hard.
many of us do.
Yeah.
Um, we all are we're looking for tools constantly to ease our anxiety, that's not just a pill or that's
Right.
not just, a substance that's, something that's a lifestyle change or something that is healthy for you or something that's organic and you found that through yoga.
100%. So having 3 kids in 3 years, just naturally, like, I don't, and anxiety isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's
Mhm.
how we were wired to, protect our lives, to take care of
Mhm. You
ourselves.
read that somewhere.
I think
Someone
my
told me.
therapist told me
I think
that.
my therapist told me that too.
She's like, "It's okay to have
That's
anxious thoughts.
that is hilarious.
It keeps you safe." And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, it does."
Yes, but mine is on
But what happens
overdrive.
when you can't get out of those thoughts,
Yeah.
right? So that started when they were little, and I think medicine is important for people that need medicine. I was on it for a little while, and then eventually was like, okay, I think I
Mhm.
have tools
Mhm.
now that I don't have to be on it.
Mhm.
Um, but then, well, it really happened after Vera's dog bite that, my dog bit our daughter in the face, and I realized that bad things can happen to us. I think I always saw other people have bad things
Mhm.
happen and, tragic accidents, and then all of a sudden it was in my house, and I was like, and then my anxiety, like, came back full force, and,
Well, it, like,
it
unlocked this
was
door for you where, like, if that could happen, this could happen, or
right.
this could happen,
And then
or
I would
just,
have
like,
spiral
spiral.
thoughts.
Mhm.
So then our summer vacations where we hike and whitewater raft and horseback ride stopped being fun for me because I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my god, kids, oh, oh, oh," and, like,
Yeah.
they were kinda like, "Mom, calm down," and I was like, "I
You
can't
can't
because
physically.
now I know something bad can happen to you because it happened," you know?
Mhm.
So that was a really hard time, but that is actually what made me, start seeing a therapist and then dive into yoga um, and that, like, calming of your thoughts to try to not spiral and focus more, like, and I keep saying inward, but focus on, like, it's okay to have this thought.
Mhm.
Acknowledge it, accept it, and then you have to move on,
Mhm.
and, like, what that looks like, and
Mhm.
that's when I started yoga teacher training, ironically, but, because I wanted to know more about yoga, I wanted to understand it, and I really wanted to help my, like, mental state.
Yes, and you saw it help your mental state, and then naturally, as the caring person that you are, you're like, "How can I help others? Like, this helped me, I wanna help other people."
And I do feel like so many of us, especially us busy moms, but busy dads, busy non-parents.
Mhm.
Like, there's so much anxiety in the world right now
Mhm.
that I think we need a lot of tools.
Mhm.
And I saw yoga, like, directly help me. So you're right. That's why I never thought I would ever teach because I couldn't say my name in front of a group of 4 people
Mhm.
without, like, shaking and turning red. And then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna do it because I wanna share it."
Yes, and you know what? It gives you when you're confident in something, which you are in yoga, and you're passionate about it,
Mhm.
it 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 turns that off a little bit. I was
It's weird.
also worried because I'm an introvert. I don't normally like talking to new people. At the car, if
That's funny.
I know, it doesn't look I
I
look
know.
like not that, but, like, when I go to pick up and, like, I get nervous going to pick up because
Do
there's so
you?
many people. I don't like I keep to myself.
It's a big social scene.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I especially now with the, current events, like, I don't wanna be seen, and I used to just do car rider for a long time because of that.
Really?
Yeah, even the bus stop would make me nervous.
Yeah. I mean, it is a group of people, and then you're forced to have, like, small talk, and
Mhm.
if you don't feel comfortable in that, Like, I'm great at small talk, and
Mhm.
people that's why they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you'd be great at this. Do you wanna speak at blah, blah?" I'm like, "No." I do not, like I mean, can't say I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I guess I'm the opposite because I am not good at small talk, but when I'm placed in an environment that I am confident in what I'm doing, which is interviewing and
Mhm.
being in front of a camera and connecting with people, because I do well, like one-on-one or in small groups or
Yeah.
having meaningful conversations is where my strengths lie, and,
Yeah.
like, this has been all that combined, and that's how at the beginning, I was so nervous, and me and Hannah would go through these freakouts every time a guest would come, and now we're slowly getting better. It just
Yeah.
because it's getting I don't know, my confidence is building,
Right,
and I think
naturally.
yeah, and with age, I think our confidence it
That is
gets
another thing, even with anxiety, that, like, the
Mhm,
older you get, the more you're like, "I cannot let that bother me."
mhm,
Like, I don't have the energy for that anymore.
yeah,
But
I know, and on the anxiety thing, I think for me, it was like, okay, if I can't control it, if I can't physically, like, immediately control it, I have to let it go.
right. That was the first thing my therapist talked to me about. She showed me a piece
Do
of
we go to
paper.
the same therapist?
I
No, I'm
mean,
kidding.
maybe, like, they're do they all say the same
I
thing?
think so.
I'm like, "Hi, I'm 42 and having anxiety," and they're like, "Yes, here's your
Oh, here's your
paperwork.
my scripts.
This is what you need to read." But I remember her showing me, like, what a circle with, like, what you have control over,
Mhm,
like, what you eat,
mhm,
things you say.
mhm,
It's very small,
mhm.
and then all the things you don't have control over, and, like, when you tangibly look at that, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
don't have control over most of my life."
right, and when you can block that out of
Yeah,
your worry
right, because you can't change that.
mhm.
Then it's supposed to help you.
Do you remember when the first, like, thought was that, like, "I'm gonna hold a class in my backyard"?
Um, yeah, this sounds really cheesy,
No.
but my friend and I went to a sound bath meditation.
Oh my god,
Ooh,
take me with you next
they're here in
time.
Houston.
Take me with you.
Yeah, so it's at the Cisterns. Have you ever been to the
No,
Cisterns? They're
but
the underground. It used to be a water
it
storage in
sounds like
downtown
something I
Houston.
need to do.
I'll send you the link. It's only
Okay,
$10.
okay.
They do it every weekend.
Will you come with me?
Yes,
Okay,
I will, and then I'll have another revelation of a new thing I need to do.
that'd
But
be
it
fine.
was, um but it's this underground, it used to be a water storage, there's a little water in it now, but there's this guy, and he does sound bowls and does, like, a meditation thing for I think it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It takes from one end to the other because it's so big, it takes, like, 12 seconds for the sound to travel, like, it's a huge space. And the
Woah.
vibrations from the sound I mean, it really sounds like your voodoo magic, but it was so awesome, and I remember doing it my friend Kristen and I did it in January of last year, and, I was kind of heavy in anxiety, just
Mhm.
a lot of feelings that January, and she asked me to go with her, and I did, and while I was laying there, that's when I was like, "I wanna start yoga teacher training, and like, I wanna make something with this.
That's
Like, I
cool.
wanna do something." And I've never told her that, but, like, randomly when I see her, I'm like, "I wanna tell her." Like, that was, like, the catalyst.
Now she knows.
"Kristen, Houston.
Hey, you need to watch.
Yay, I hope you're seeing this."
That's so cool that you have,
Yeah,
like, an exact memory, an exact moment, and it was something that was mindful that
yeah,
you I mean, it was like a practice that you were going through that made you were like, "Okay, this is" it allowed you to get there.
right. It really
That's so
did.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, congratulations on being an official yoga
That
instructor.
was fun. It took a
Yes.
really long time
Yeah, how
for
many what,
me.
200 hours or something?
Yeah, you have to do, so I actually don't know. It's a 200-hour, like, teacher training. That's the basic one. The
Mhm.
lower one, you can do 300, 500 after that. But that includes, like, going through all your curriculum and all the testing, and then 48 hours of practice,
Okay.
which, and you're just logging that. And,
So it's like kinda honor system.
yes, that's exactly what they said. And you can do it faster. You can do a lot of places offer, like, intensive weekends.
Mhm.
So in, 1 month, you could be a teacher
Mhm.
if you do the weekend. But with kids, I just couldn't make that. I even talked with, there was a yoga studio in Cyprus, Shaka Power Yoga, and they did those. But,
Mhm.
like, I couldn't go multiple weekends in a row from 8 to 5 and do
Right,
teacher
right.
training. It wasn't, like, gonna work with my schedule. So, And I wasn't ready. Like, I mentally, like, wasn't ready to
Mhm.
do it, but
Mhm.
when I finally was, I found a place out of Austin, my vinyasa practice, and then you just do it at your own pace, and, like, you log in,
Perfect.
each day that you want to, and you read the curriculum, watch videos, and so I did that, and it ended up taking, like, 10 or 11 months.
It's fine.
Yeah, took a long time, but
And
I had started teaching during that to, like,
right.
practice because you have to send in videos, and because of
Mhm.
how excited I get taking videos,
I love your videos
thank you.
and your videos with your kids.
Thanks. I've gotten better. At the beginning, you just feel so awkward staring
I know.
into a screen
I
when
know.
nobody's listening
I
and you're
know.
just talking to yourself,
I know.
but you do it.
But speaking of your kids, it's so
Yeah.
cool how you invite them into your practice. And when I was there, Augie was like kind of helping lead. He was like in the front, I
Yeah.
feel. And it's just so cool to watch them get so involved in it. And what have they said about it?
Yeah, they like it, and, Augie and Georgia both really like leading,
Hmm.
which I think is cute. I've told Georgia, like, "You could practice this and you could do it. You could lead a class, like, if
Hmm.
you really wanted." I just like that, they're so heavy in sports that
Hmm.
I think this is such a good counterbalance for
Hmm.
them, and I'm glad that but we've done it since they were toddlers with that Cosmic Kids
Hmm.
thing, so it's nothing like I'm just throwing them into something new, like, it's
Right.
what they know and they really enjoy it. So and Kyle also does it a lot. So many people think yoga is just for women.
Right.
And I really don't want Augie to think that because it's not. So, but he sees Kyle do it. And some
Right.
date nights, like Kyle and I go to a yoga studio,
That's
and
fun.
we always tell the kids like what we were up to, and I'm like, yeah, we did
And
yoga.
athletes do yoga. Football
Yeah,
players do yoga.
it's really great for your body, and it's not is it like it depends what class you take, but I mean, some of the poses like you're sore the next day if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
if you're holding something for a long time.
I used to do like bar classes and it
Hmm.
was kind of
Similar.
similar.
Hard like some of those tiny muscles that you're like,
Mhm.
"What?"
Mhm. Are you ready for your hot seat segment?
100%.
Favorite yoga pose?
Ooh, that was quick. I'm
This is a
supposed to think of
fast.
something? Okay, Warrior 2.
A word or phrase that instantly takes you out of your zen.
Ooh, dinner.
What's for dinner? Something yoga taught you that motherhood didn't.
It's okay to mess up?
What's louder? Your shitty
Shitty beach tree.
Shitty
You're about to
Vitri?
cuss.
What's
don't
louder,
know.
your chitty Vitri or your kids?
Kids.
Would you rather have goldfish crumbs on your yoga mat the whole time or have to teach a class in a British accent?
Oh, goldfish crumbs. I would do a great job with a British accent class.
You would? Look at you.
My friends
It's like
tell
I
me
practice my accent all the time.
I randomly will have a British accent, and my British friends are like, "That's terrible," and it's not British, like it's a
Right.
combination, and
I
I'm
do it
like,
all the time too.
so that might be fun. Everything sounds prettier.
Oh, do it. I'll come to that.
Okay.
Like a Bridgerton class.
Yes.
Shavasana or sitting in the car before pickup?
Shavasana.
Okay. Most humbling teaching moment?
Well, any teacher will probably tell you when you just forget and you blank.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, everybody, let's float into child's pose. So if you noticed in a class we're doing a lot of child's poses, it's because my brain's not with me.
Okay, this might be the most important question. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Oh God, that's really hard.
I told you.
NSYNC. Yeah.
When was the last time you cried?
Oh, yesterday morning, really hard.
Oh.
Yeah, like it was right before I was going to teach the preschool mom group, and I was like, get it
You
together,
needed a
Chelsea.
release
Yeah.
before you.
It was actually like perfect timing that I was set to teach that class because
Perfect.
I needed.
That's how it works, right? The
it
universe.
was the universe
God.
putting me.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. It was me being there because I needed to be because I had just cried.
Yes.
Mhm.
I cried yesterday as well.
You have
I
to
probably
release
cry
it.
every day.
Well, I tell my kids like it's okay.
I know.
I do too.
My kids are like, Mom, don't cry. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just a crier.
I am. They make fun of me with like movies.
Oh.
They're like, Mom, and I'm like, what?
Oh,
and we've
no.
seen it 10
Movies.
times. I don't care.
Don't even think about it. One word to describe your current season.
Confident.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm more confident than I probably have been in a decade.
Oh my gosh. And what a great way to end. Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for
I
having
love
me.
you. I can't wait to go to our sound bath.
Sound bath meditation at the cisterns and a British accent yoga class.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Thanks for having
Okay,
me.
thank you so
This is
much.
super fun.
Okay, you guys tune in every Friday at 11:11. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye. All right, besties, my glass is empty, but my cup is full, and that means it's the end of the episode. Remember that you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people, and that everyone out there is trying their best. Love you. Bye. You can find the Mommy Artists podcast on YouTube to watch the full video. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and come back next week for more iconic chaos and creative magic. But no worries if not.